Great having Grant Dawson back here on the program. He's finally got an opponent. He's going to be taking on Ricky Glenn at UFC Fight Night on October 23rd. Grant, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing? It's great to be back on the show. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute, but always appreciate you taking the time. Really good fight here with Rick Glenn. So you were supposed to fight Diego Ferreira. He's out of the fight. Rick Glenn comes in. How quickly did this come together? Because obviously Rick has the same manager that you do as well.
Yeah, it was kind of a little cluster there for a minute. Diego needed more time because he was injured. And so originally we thought that I was going to be moved to November 13th. And then he said he couldn't be ready until December. I said, there's no way that's going to work for me. So they moved me back to the 2nd, but they couldn't find an opponent for me. So then they messaged Richard and they asked him if he could do the 2nd. I believe he was like, I can't do the 2nd, but what about the 23rd? And so that's kind of how it came to be. So I'm ready to go, man. I've been in camp since my last fight. So I'm ready to rock and roll. The name is kind of irrelevant right now.
Were there ever any talks of you fighting Alex Hernandez? Because I know at the time he lost his opponent against Leo Santos. You fought Leo. I know he ended up fighting another one of your teammates, Mike Breeden. But was there ever any talks of that?
There were talks. I think that our coaches are really close, and so they're kind of in a situation where if they don't have to fight each other, they're not going to fight each other. You know, Alex and I still have a job. We both got a job. We both got a paycheck coming in. You know, Mike didn't have a job. So that was kind of a situation where it was like, we don't want to fight each other, but we're going to make an exception this one time because Mike deserves to be in the UFC. Everybody knows he deserves to be in the UFC, and this is the opportunity. Alex gets to keep his paycheck. Mike gets in and gets to fight. So it was kind of the situation there. I don't think me and Alex will ever end up fighting unless he leaves Factory X, but or he wins the belt, because if he wins the belt, all bets are off.
Yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, I asked Alex the same thing, exact same story. I just always want to get two sides of things, but a lot of respect there, it seems, between the two of you as well. Like he was just talking about how, obviously you're a top, lightweight like himself. So I thought that definitely makes a lot of sense. But let's talk about Ricky Glenn here, a veteran. He's been in there with a lot of fighters, even outside the UFC when he fought for World Series of Fighting. How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Man, I like the fight with Richard. I think that it's a good fight. He's definitely gotten a lot better. He takes time off. He takes a lot of time off in between fights, and so you kind of got to prepare for what could be new. I don't think there's a whole lot that he does that's going to match my style. Obviously, everybody's got a puncher's chance, but I just can't see him being able to hang with me. Unless he knocks me out in the first 30 seconds like he did with his last opponent, I really can't see him being able to hang with me. I think I fought tougher guys. I think he's fought a lot of tough guys. The difference is I beat those tough guys.
Yeah, no, for sure. By the way, second time I'm noticing the interview, you're calling him Richard. Is that by design, or his name's Ricky, I believe? So is that something you're doing ahead of this fight?
My older brother's name is Rick, and he hates being called Richard.
Oh, there
So,
we go. Okay, a little bit of mind
so
games. I like that.
I don't think I've ever met a Rick or a Ricky or a whatever that doesn't hate being called Richard. And what actually happened was I was doing an interview with another lady, and she said I called him Rick Glenn, and she's like, well, he goes by Ricky now. Like that's what he likes. And I was like, oh, okay, well, Richard can get
I
it
see.
anytime he wants. So, and I mean, what's he gonna do? Beat me up? He's already gonna try that. So it's all
Yeah.
good.
No, it's interesting. I called him Rick before the fight, and then he's like, oh, I go by Ricky now. And I said, oh, when did this happen? And I guess he just like sort of decided. And by the way, that interview that you did was with Farah Hanoun, one of the best in the game. Love Farah. So that I thought that was awesome that she did that with you as well. I didn't catch the whole thing, but just saw part of it. Just wanted to give her a quick shout out in this. Training camp, we know who you're working with. Just talked to Jeff Molina. I know you've been working with, some of the notable names in the gym, but who else you getting to work with? A lot of up and comers from what I was hearing.
Yeah, so it kind of all worked out real nice. I had people coming in to help me get ready for Diego, and hear me out. Diego and Richard are similar in ways. They're more of strikers that like jujitsu. Wrestling really isn't their strong suit. One's southpaw, one likes to switch a lot. One's really tall and one's a little shorter. So uh, I feel like I'm fighting a watered down version of the guy that I was supposed to fight that also does a few things a little bit better. I've been working with a lot of these younger guys that you're talking about. I've got my man Evan Elder here. He's been helping me out a lot. He's from Florida, and he came down to help me out. So, you know, the same guys that I've been working with, I'll always be working with. And then you have to also remember that I'm fighting a 6 foot tall striker, and I train with a 6'1" striker every single day in James Krause. So I really don't see him being able to throw anything at me that I haven't seen. I think one of his highlights was, or like his points was, how do you prepare for a man that, hasn't fought in 2 years because you don't know how much he's changed? And I agree with that, but I'm going to fight him the same way I would fight him if I had seen all of his video and all that. So I'm going to go out there, I'm going to take him down, and I'm going to put my elbow on his face until he gives up, or for 15 minutes.
How nice is it fighting at 55 again? Not having those extra 10 pounds. It seems like you're much, it's one just thing you don't have to really worry about as much right going into the fight, as opposed to fighting at 45.
Yeah, we couldn't take a lot of I want to be active, and my goal is still to get 3 fights in this year, and I would really like to get in 4 fights next year. I couldn't do that at 145. I was too big. And let's not forget that Richard is also a 45er. He also is somebody that can make that. I don't know if he moved up permanently, but his last fight was at 55. He is up permanently.
Yeah, he is up permanently. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think he's going to be any bigger than I am. I think we'll be around the same size. He's a little bit taller. I'm a little bit thicker. So, I like being at 55. I think I'll be at 55 until there's, really, really big money on the table. And we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But right now, 55 is my home. I'm absolutely loving it. Training doesn't suck. I get to eat food and not worry about my weight. So everything's great.
How's this fight playing out on October 23rd?
This is not an easy fight. This is not a fun fight, but make no mistake, this is not a fight that's going to be close. I'm going to run through him like I've run through everybody else. I think I've fought better fighters than him in my last 3. I think Trezano's a better fighter. I think that Santos is a better fighter. And, I finished both of those guys. My goal for this fight is to finish him. He's never been finished in the UFC. A lot of his losses are by split decision. That can't happen with me. I'm here to put on a show. I'm here to let people know that I am the next big thing. I'm with these Armans and these Islams and these up and comers that people are really keeping their eye on. I want to be that guy too. And to do that, I've got to absolutely destroy Richard Glenn.
How many more fights do you have left on your contract? Do you know?
This is my last one. Well, I have 2 more, but they usually renegotiate after.
Yeah, I was going to say, so this is the second last fight, and then you renegotiate in the last one. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And I imagine Happy probably wanting to stay with the promotion. I mean, UFC's the best in the world, right? So.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Yeah, I love my job. I love everything about it, and I'm hoping to be able to take on Diego in December after this fight, barring no injuries. That's the game plan. It sounds like, again, barring no injuries, or God forbid I lose. It sounds like that's the fight to make. Diego's team wants me. I want him. The UFC already set it up once. He said he's ready in December. He doesn't have an opponent yet. So it kind of looks like I walk through Richard. It's going to be Diego in December.
Grant, always a pleasure, man. Anyone you want to thank, sponsors, social media, you name it, floor is yours.
I just want to thank all of my teammates, man. They all come in day and night to help me. My main man, Devin Weber, Evan Elder, these guys are coming in to help me, whether they're feeling good or not. If I'm in training, they're in training, and I just want to say thank you so much. And obviously, shout out to my coach, James Krause. He's one of the best in the world. I couldn't do it without him. So, and thank you for having me on the show again.